What's up guys? In today's video, we will be building the longest rated level, my long level in Geometry Dash. In the last video, I built the first 2 minutes of the layout, and in this video, we will be building the next 3 minutes for a total of 5. I did tweak a few minor parts to some of the gameplay to balance the difficulty a bit off camera, but not much has changed other than that. If you want to keep up with this series, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future progress. Anyways, without further ado, let's continue on this level. Alright, so it's been about like 6 months since I last made a part in this level, so I think it's finally time we make another part. This time it'll be an extra minute long from last time, so yay! So anyways, in this first part of the level, I wanted to make it so that a lot of the clicks were based on like the beats of the music. I mean, when it comes to like creating good levels in the first place, or at least good gameplay, that's kind of one thing you like automatically want to do. So I mean, yeah, as you can see, it's nothing like too much though. I'm just like switching game modes every few seconds. Like the first part was a continuation of the cube, then there was a UFO, but really it's nothing too interesting. This is a 12-minute long level, or at least it's going to be, so there has to be like some interesting parts or else it's gonna become bland very quickly. So I had an idea for the next part of this level. We would split it up into 3 different paths and make each path a different game mode. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Alright, so yeah, what this is gonna do is you can choose one of 3 paths to like slide in. I'm probably gonna add some like spikes here. And you can choose to either be... Oh wait, what the hell just happened? Alright, I added the spikes, but still need to figure out how to fix this thing. I mean, obviously when I let go, because it seems the problem has to do with like... Maybe it's that since the wave's hitboxes are so small and the UFO and ships are much bigger, that's what's causing you to instantly die if you're like either holding or letting go. What if we made everything mini? Since, you know, mini hitboxes are smaller than regular size. Hold on, I freaking hate how small that is. Okay. So yeah, let's make all of this mini, and let's see, if I let go, yep, it works. And if I hold, there we go, that works. Alright, so I smoothed out this transition part by adding a move trigger that like eases out. You don't really see the first part, I don't think. Hold on, let me check though. Alright, cool. So since this next part has 3 different game modes you can choose from, I decided to make 2 paths where if you're a certain game mode you go up one, and if you're a different one then you go down another. I basically did this by adding elements to each path where it's pretty easy on like one game mode, like the top one it's pretty easy on the ship, but it would be really hard to do on the wave. And vice versa with the bottom corridor only being possible with the wave. So I wanted to make a similar part to the last part, but instead of the ship, wave, and UFO, I did a ball and spider. But because their borders are different, I couldn't really execute it without it looking weird. So instead, I just decided to make a duel. And after that, we are 30 seconds into this part with only 2 minutes and 30 more seconds to go. This is gonna take a long time. But anyways, after that, I decided to make a cube part, and you can probably see I'm using a crap ton of portals because this song right now is kind of doing a... And I thought a good way to utilize that would be to have lots of rapid but fluid transitions, and what better way than tons of gravity portals. But being honest, this is like one of my favorite parts of the level so far because of its just utter randomness. Like, the cube is just going all over the place. It also has a few pretty cool gimmicks, like this one right here. Okay, so I found something pretty cool. It looks like you can just skip this pink orb and then fall down and hit this blue pad, right? Well, turns out if you do that, you just go right past it. So you actually do have to hit the pink orb, so you fall at a faster rate so that you can hit the blue orb. Or, not the blue orb, what am I saying? The blue pad. Alright, so we have reached the 3-minute mark of this level, and to be honest, there aren't really any parts in this next minute that I find interesting enough to like make an entire segment about it. But I'll still give you a basic overview of this next minute. So basically, I've been doing similar gameplay to previous parts in this level, but I decided to put a bit more focus into adding like fakes in this level. Like in this spider part, I added a fake where it's kind of like that one club step part, you know, the ball section, where you like go through some of the structures. And along with that, I added quite a lot of orb fakes in many parts of the level. I also added a few more like fake structures like this one in the wave. But other than that, nothing really too interesting. So yeah, we are almost at the 5-minute mark of this level, and at that point we will be done with this part. So I'm hoping I can come up with some ideas since really I'm starting to become desperate. Ooh, wait, I think I just had an idea. Why don't I just open up the borders a bit? Sort of like how in 2.2, I think there will be like a free form ship like without borders. So why don't I do that here? There can be like multiple paths you can go. You can pretty much just do whatever the hell you want, except, well, actually go into, well, the obstacles I plan to put, because obviously I wouldn't think you'd want to die in this level. Alright, so yeah, I tried to make it so where you can just always either go up or back down by like the way these portals are, but it really seems like that's not gonna work unless I just spam portals all around. And even then, I'll have to make it so that they're separate on which ones you go up and which ones you go back down. So I feel the only thing I can do is have like specific moments where you can go up and down. There will still be like multiple paths and options, but I guess the times in where you can go up and down are limited. So, I mean, that's really the best I can think of. I mean, well, there is also the option of, like, frickin'... Oh, and I don't think clicking off the game is an option, but I don't know. We're making some groundbreaking discoveries here today. But, I mean, unless you just frickin' portal spam and crap, but we're not going to be doing that. So being honest, this part was probably the most tedious one to build, as I couldn't come up with unique gameplay that I really liked. Also the fact that I was building at least 2 different parts in one. So it basically took around 1 minute worth of gameplay to make this 30-second part. And you wanna know what makes things even worse? After I finished the gameplay to this part, I was planning to add ground spikes, so, you know, you can't just slide on the ceiling and ground. But because of how I made the borders to this part, this ended up being a problem. Okay, so I just realized I am so stupid because of the way I made these borders work in the wave part where you like switch, which I can. Okay, I cannot like speak right. Like this part right here. So yeah, you see we have the ground spikes there, and they follow by the border, right? Well, once you enter this, since I wanted to have like a smoother transition or something, instead of just going like right through and like getting rid of all of this part, I decided to have a 1 block leeway. But then it would mean I'd have to place the ground spikes, well, here, which interferes with the part, and these ones in the first place are already messed up and like not on the border. So, oh boy, I'm gonna have to improvise, and I can't just like spam ground spikes on the ceiling and for the level, I guess. Okay, so I mean, we can still technically add ground spikes to the parts where you can't go down or up any further, so I guess that makes things a bit easier. But in the middle, yeah, we're kind of screwed. And for the last 30 seconds of this level, I decided to build this robot part. It's mostly just controlled microclicks, but the most noticeable thing about this part is the random blue pads scattered across this level. All of them are fakes, and hitting one will just send you into the endless deep void, with no chance of return. Anyways, that's about all I have to say for this part. Okay, so we have officially reached the, well, I guess 4-minute 59-second mark. Okay, close enough to the 5-minute mark, because, yeah, this is where I was planning to end this part. And, I mean, one thing I've realized is I do not know how to make balanced gameplay. Like, this entire level is unbalanced as hell. Like, some parts right here are like super easy. I mean, unless you play on 60 hertz, then like the ship and wave parts are gonna be hell, but other than that, and then I make this robot part, which is confusing as hell. I mean, maybe once I hit indicators, it'll be less confusing. So, yeah. So, we're just gonna add, I mean, for now, we're just gonna add a few final touches, like maybe ground spikes here, and as I just said, indicators. And we will be done with this video. Alright, so I pretty much added everything I wanted to add to this part of the level. And I mean, sure, it's not like nearly as fully structured as the part I did in the last video, but being honest, this part took frickin' forever, and I honestly just want to be done with it at this point. I added like the stuff I said I was gonna add, like indicators in the UFO parts, pretty much like last video as well, and I also added some, jeez, I really did not add much, did I? But yeah, over here you can see I added as many ground spikes as I could despite the border problem I mentioned earlier. And I did a few other things, like I made a few quick nerfs and buffs to make this a bit more balanced. It's still pretty unbalanced. I cannot make balanced gameplay. And that, my friends, is the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see how this level turns out in the future, then finger dash your way to that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. If you want to see a showcase of the part I built in today's video, then a link should pop up in the top right corner right about now. And with that all said and done, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and God bless.